Alright guys, it's Skin. Today I'm talking broadly about memes and synchronicity. What is a meme? I would define a meme as an archetypal, contagion, and emergent thought form. It's often a complex idea that, like a zip file, has compressed down into a form that is more easily transmissible. So what is a synchronicity? A synchronicity is when an external event lines up with an internal state. It can happen to one person or a whole group of people at once, or even in things like quantum systems, where altering the state of an electron can inexplicably alter the state of another light years away, which may be a bit theoretical, but illustrates the idea well. What I'm getting at is that the external symbols that we create, masks, memes, images, are just the physical side of the internal psychological patterns. They're two expressions of the same structure, the way that mind and body are two sides of the same system. Now, before this starts sounding a little too much like a conversation you'd hear on your 15-minute smoke break behind 7-Eleven, let's jump into some examples. One of the clearest examples of this is the trickster. Every culture, completely independently, ends up with the same smug little gremlin motif. The Greeks had satyrs, the Japanese had tengu, medieval Europe had carnival masks, and we have trollface. All strikingly similar characters, but what I find more interesting is how the morphological features are also often represented despite these people being separated by either geography or time. It's a rebellious image or thought form, a kind of psychological machine designed to critique, provoke, or undermine whatever feels unjust or oppressive. And you can observe this pattern in other symbolic systems as well. Take tarot, for example. It's often framed as a method of fortune-telling by some weird gypsy lady, but the reality is that divination points to a larger underlying psychological structure. The Fool, for instance, is the archetype of naive beginnings. Think level 1 thief type shit. A modern expression of that is the Wojak meme, a blank, vulnerable everyman you can project anything onto. Take the Doomer. People see it, relate to it, and then start identifying with it. I am the Doomer. The thought form gets encoded into the meme, and the meme reproduces itself in the next person's psyche. In this way, they become possessed by the thought form rather than possessing it themselves. Then there's the magician. This is the archetype of directed will, the mind imagining itself at full agency. Think of it as the psyche's will to power mode. The modern expression of that is the Giga-Chad, hyper-competent, hyper-capable, and when he's neither, charisma alone is enough to carry him through the world. Pure will, the idealized self. Giga-Chad is to Wojak what Tyler Durden is to Jack. People see it, latch onto it, and start modeling themselves after it. The grind set, the posture, the whole aesthetic. Clavicular. And side note, going to the gym, lifting weights, real men flip tires in the backyard. Now anyway, at this point, the thought form isn't just aspirational, it's a behavioral template. Finally, there's the moon. This is the archetype of illusion, misdirection, and shadow. The psyche navigating uncertainty and its own internal distortions. One modern expression of this is the Rick roll. You think you're going one direction, and suddenly the entire context flips. It's misdirection as a ritual, a collective hallucination that people share in when they engage with the meme. People fall for it, laugh, and start using it themselves. The pattern reproduces through the act of tricking and being tricked. More than a meme, it's the shadow breaking through the fourth wall. The things people are often searching for when they fall for the Rick roll are limbic, how to get something, or how to do something. But this thing is often not socially acceptable, or really possible. The shadow steps in and taps you on the shoulder. So when you zoom out, you start to see the pattern. These memes aren't random internet jokes. They're modern expressions of the ancient psychological machinery. The same archetypes that showed up in myth, ritual, and symbolic systems resurface just in altered forms. Synchronicity is when these symbols and motifs become aligned to a greater frequency pattern of human behavior. You think you're just scrolling, but the psyche is doing what it has always done, projecting, mirroring, recognizing itself in whatever medium happens to be available. More often than not, the consumer is not consciously aware of this process. Whether it's the fool or the Wojak stumbling into a new identity, the magician or the gigachad flexing pure will, or the moon rickrolling you, the structure underneath it is the same. The symbols change, the patterns don't. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Deuces.